right, babies. It's that time again. Oh, yeah. We are in Genesis 29. And guess what? It's about bigamy and incest. And God doesn't seem to have a problem with it. Or at least there's no indication of it. Wow. So, how does all that happen? Well, Jacob runs into a relative, Laban, falls in love with his gorgeous younger daughter, Rachel, promises to serve Laban for 7 years in order to earn betrothal to Rachel, and has a feast celebrating his 7 years, and wakes up to find out that he just consummated his marriage with Rachel's older sister. Becomes incensed by this, challenges Laban on it, and Laban says, dude, we have a custom that, there's particular rules about giving away the youngest. Or maybe you have to give away the oldest first, whatever it is. So Jacob says, all right, well, give me Rachel also, and I'll give you another 7 years of service. So he ends up having 2 wives. But Leah bears 4 kids while he's serving his 7 years to earn Rachel, thinking he'll fall in love with her because of the children she bears him. That doesn't happen because he's in love with the beautiful Rachel. So my question, reading this is, all right, where is there any discussion like this is against God's law? Nowhere. Where is there maybe some offering of sacrifices for the sin of marrying your cousin, or marrying 2 of your cousins? None of that. So I'm trying to think, what am I supposed to make of this? I am trying hard, right? You see, I'm trying hard. Because if it's God's word, then we need to benefit from it. And if we can't benefit from it, it's probably not God's word. So I'm thinking, well, maybe like in other parts of the Bible, especially the Old Testament, they get into these kind of sordid stories of these types of experiences. Yeah, like with Abraham, like when he was like making believe Sarah was his sister so that people wouldn't take her from Abram and perform impure things. Like it's not like God's not condoning these things. It's just depicting what was going on. And so humanity being its, wayward species, there we have waywardness, right? But you would think if there's waywardness, there would be some like connection, some lessons, some story. So there really isn't. So to me, it kind of underscores, in my opinion, how the Bible, the best way to look at the Bible is like it's a historical journal of cultural development. Not necessarily a holy book without errors, although it does have lovely aspects in it that are conducive to growth in spirit and in character. And in those regards, I can recognize that as God-inspired, and if you want to call it God's word, yeah. But then you have all this other stuff that is just like, what the heck is going on here? So to me, it's more of like, these are the stories that were used that somehow created a moral light for people to use for generations, and it became, I wouldn't say it advanced, because I think it ended up going nowhere, and I believe that's why God sent us Jesus, because we were in trouble and we needed the help of God and His Spirit in us in order to access divine power and become loving servants of each other and being devoted to God. So I really, that's the best I could do with this. It's the best I could do with it. I mean, and in this sense, I think it's useful as a mirror of our own lives, right? Which one of us is going to say, it's like what Jesus says, those of you who, are without sin, you can cast the first stone at this adulteress, and everybody walks away because everyone has done something in their life or is currently embroiled in something in their life that's not aligned with the beauty and holiness of God. So in that sense, when I say it's like a historical record, you kind of look at it like if we were going to write down the things that we're doing right now, we wouldn't be writing down holy actions one after another. There would likely be all kinds of sordid things, like Laban giving his 2 daughters to a relative to marry as a bigamist. What? Yeah. So that's the best I can do with it, people. So think of your own life and think of all the things that you do in your life that are not necessarily according to God's way. And look for His direction. Look for His, direction and empowerment for you to put Him first in your life. And as you cultivate that focus and that passion and that one-mindedness, these other things that do not align with God's will in your life will fall away, because you won't be attached to them anymore. You'll be attached to the living, loving Lord of the universe. Yeah, baby.